It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. Raymond J. Wollman, the Deputy Secretary of the American Battle Monuments Commission. Ho il piacere di presentarvi il signor Raymond J. Wollman, Sottosegretario del American Battle Monuments Commission. Sir, welcome.
Council General Morrison, General Bianca Farina, General Elmo, friends and family of members of the Nice veterans, members of the VFW, Boy Scouts of America, and honored guests. Carved in the stone to my right are these words of the ancient Greek Pericles speaking in praise of the dead. They faced the foe as they drew near him in the stretch of their own manhood. And when the shock of battle came, they, in a moment of time, at the climax of their lives, were wrapped away from a world filled with their dying eyes, not with terror, but with glory. Such were the men who lie here. They received, each for his own memory, praise that will never die, and with it the grandest of all sepulchres, a home in the minds of men. For nearly 70 years, the small United States government agency, the American Battle Monuments Commission, has cared for the 6,000 heroes buried and memorialized at this cemetery. Since 1923, we have cared for 220,000 others buried or memorialized at our 23 other overseas cemeteries around the world. It is entirely fitting that the people of the United States do this in recognition of the sacrifice these young men and women laid on the altar of liberty. The most common question that we get at our sites is someone actually buried under each headstone? Many believe that our headstones are simply representational, each representing someone who fell and then was returned to the United States. It is important to emphasize that a hero rests under each Italian marble headstone you see in front of me. Indeed, at this cemetery, the 4,000 headstones you see represent only 39% of the fallen. Just those whose families chose to allow their loved ones to rest in Italian soil. 60% were returned home. But why did families choose to allow them to rest here in this now quiet village outside the Renaissance wonder of Florence? Quite simply because here, in a now distant time, is where they struggled, fought, and died. Here in this valley, among their comrades in arms, the sacrifice was made. So here they rest, forever cared for and honored by a grateful nation. My colleagues and I in the American Battle Monuments Commission take the obligation to these honored here very seriously. We do this by keeping the grass green and the headstones white. This was the charge given to me when I joined the ABMC 10 years ago. I soon realized just how challenging maintaining a site to the level you see around you really is. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize John Luncheon, our superintendent, and his superb crew, whose care, attention to detail, and commitment, not just on Memorial Day, but 365 days a year, pays tribute to those honored here. But as the distance between their time and ours inevitably widens, we need to do more. The Commission recognizes that our responsibility goes beyond maintaining beautiful and inspirational commemorative sites. We have an equally important responsibility to tell the stories of competence, courage, and sacrifice that those we honor no longer can tell for themselves. The Commission is moving forward with interpretive centers, virtual tours, mobile apps, a redesigned website, and well-trained guides to bring the story to life today, assuring that the promise of our first chairman, General John Pershing, that, quote, time will not dim the glory of their deeds, will be redeemed. I ask all of you here today to talk to your friends, families, and colleagues about the significance, beauty, and impact of this site. I encourage you to be our ambassadors by suggesting that a visit is worth the time and the effort. For those who can't come in person, please visit our website, at www.abmc.gov. The deeds and sacrifice of those honored will live on as long as we speak about them, as long as, in Pericles' words, we create for them a home in the minds of men. On behalf of the Commission, I want to thank all of you here today for honoring American sons and daughters who, after giving the last full measure, rest here in Italian soil. May God bless those we honor here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Secretary.